Mike Monday!
Well, hello there everybody, my name is Mark Pod, and for once, I'm actually going to try and be serious. Just a little bit. Exams. Now just the word probably makes a few of you begin to sweat, but don't, because they're not actually as stressful as you think. Now I've done my fair share of exams, so I feel as though I am in a position where I can actually give you advice on how to deal with that stress. So firstly, it's really important that you stay organised. And by organised, I don't mean revising the night before for an exam.
The square root of the diameter of its circumference is the same as the breadth of its mass divided by pi root squared. Banana!
I can tell you from my own experience that doing this is not going to work. Months and months of input within the classroom is not going to be revised and learnt and retained in one night. It's just not going to happen. So by organised, I mean, for example, have a look at your exam timetable and look realistically which exams should you be revising for first. So more than likely it's going to be in chronological order. So the first kind of exams you've got coming up, the first 3 or 4, they're probably going to be the ones you're most likely to start revising for first. So for example, if your first 3 exams were geography, English and science, then you need to really set out days or times in the week that you'll start revising for each one of those. Next up, we have planning. Now, planning to fail, that's not the quote, is it? Failing to plan means you are planning to fail, or something like that. I think that's it. Let me Google it. But if you don't have a plan of some sort, then you're going to get yourself into a right mess. And like I've kind of mentioned before, you need to organise set days in which you revise certain subjects. Having a structured schedule is very important when it comes to planning for exams. For example, Monday, 5 PM to 6 PM English revision, 6 PM to 7 Geography, 7 PM till 8 Science, or some sort of structure like that, just so you know as soon as you get home from 5 o'clock till 6 o'clock you have to revise that subject you've written down, and so on and so forth for the rest of that night. So under this planning topic, we need to make sure we are also realistic. Don't set yourself goals that you aren't going to achieve.
Okay, science I can revise from 5 PM till 2 AM. Geography I can do from 3 AM till 6 AM. And maths can wait because I don't want to do too much revision.
Now next we have stay positive, and this may be really hard to believe because usually 9 times out of 10 most people approach their exams in one way.
Oh my god, I'm so bad at these exams! Can't do exams, can't do exams, don't like exams! I'm gonna fail!
Try to stay well clear of this. I am the biggest hypocrite ever because that guy was me. I was that guy when I was doing my exams. What you've got to think about though is that if you're negative about exams and you're negative whilst revising for those exams, you've kind of lost before you've even begun. Heading into that exam with a negative attitude is going to have more of an effect on you than you actually think. Now, I'm not saying that you should go into your exam like this.
Yo, yo, yo! What's up? I'm gonna smash this maths exam today! 100% baby!
But try to be positive. Whether this is being happy with yourself for finally understanding something like Pythagoras' theorem, or remembering something as simple as the atomic number for carbon. Like I've said before, it is hard to try and remain positive throughout, but don't beat yourself up about it. The time that you're putting into these exams, they are worth it. Next we have eating well, which means no, chocolate and exams do not go hand in hand. I'm sorry. Now, I'm a little bit of a nutrition nerd, so I feel as though I'm kind of in the right place to give you my advice on what foods you should be eating. You need to try, as tempting as it is, you need to try and avoid foods that are high in fat, and mainly saturated fat. So you've got chocolate, sweet, energy drink. All these things are absolutely horrendous when you're trying to concentrate. These types of foods are going to give you this huge sugar rush where you're going to be able to work really hard for only a really short period of time, and then you're going to have a huge sugar crash, which means you're going to become lethargic, you're going to become lazy, tired, and inevitably you're not going to have the motivation to revise. Now, foods that are labelled, in my opinion, as brain foods, they're not as boring as you think. So try and get foods in your diet every so often, such as oily fish, vegetables, broccoli in particular, whole grains, unsalted nuts, and all kinds of berries, so strawberries, blackberries, and blueberries. All these foods, like I've said, are labelled as brain foods. So these are the kind of things that are going to help you to stay motivated, stay concentrated, and most importantly, retain that information in that noggin. Next is relax. Now, stick with me on this one because it may seem kind of silly saying to relax, but this is just as important as the revision itself. Yes, it's important that you get good grades. Yes, it is important that you do the best possible work you can do. But at the end of the day, mental health is a lot more important than all of that. If you're up all night stressing about exams, stressing about failing an exam, then clearly you're not relaxing enough. Yes, I get it, I understand. Exams are stressful. But too much stress is not good for anybody. So when I say relax, I definitely don't mean this.
Michael, you need to revise for your exams. Ah, it's alright. I've been told to relax. I'll do it tomorrow.
So what I mean by relax is take a break. From an hour's worth of revision, take a 10 to 15 minute break. You don't want to be revising for 2-3 hours solid because all that's going to happen, you're going to bombard your brain with all this information, you're trying to take in too much, and the information that you're throwing at yourself, it's just not going to be retained. Also, when talking about relaxing, you need to make sure you're getting enough sleep. 8 hours is the recommended time you should be sleeping for. Anything less than that, then the lack of sleep is another factor of poor retention of information. And lastly, we have forget about it. And no, I don't mean don't revise at all and give the middle finger to revision completely. I'm talking about after an exam. I remember when I was in school, as soon as certain people got out of the exam hall, they would try and speak to as many people as possible to see if they wrote the same answers as one another. Forget about it, it's gone. Why waste your time putting yourself through any extra unnecessary stress for something that's already gone, it's in the past, and you can't change anything about it? You just need to forget about that exam, put it out of your mind completely. You've done your best, it's gone. Now shift your focus onto the next exam coming up. Anyways, that is just my advice on how to deal with exams and the stress that they bring. If you did find this video useful in any way, give it a big old thumbs up. And if you want me to do any more similar videos to this, how to deal with something else, then just let me know in the comment section below. But anyways, for those of you that are doing your exams, good luck. And for everybody else, I shall see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye! Hello everybody, my name is Mark Paul, and then just dropped my pen. But it was inevitable that this day would come. I've seen the legitimacy of the Charlie Challenge, and I think it's about time that I do it myself.